Things like this don't happen to me.
Seaman First Class Jerry Ives is honored that after all these decades, he'll see the aftermath, the solemn memories of those long years at war.
And I was on my knees with a magazine. So I told the gunner, I said, "You be sure to hit him, because I don't want to get hit."
The Navy called him up in April 1943. He battled on board the USS California. Ives had just turned 18 years old, a young age, he says, to see the world at war.
The wounds aren't near as bad. They're there. Some of them are big, some of them are little. But they don't remember.
His daughter Annette is his primary caregiver. At 85 years old, his health is too bad to travel without her. And he says he could use a chauffeur.
I ain't got enough power to push a wheelchair. I got old in a hurry.
The trip costs $800 for guardians. That's for the hotels, flights, food, and bus transportation. Annette knows Honor Flight can't pay for everything, but hopes the community can lend a helping hand.
I figured if I had 800 friends that gave me $1, there it is.
For now, this unsung hero looks forward to the flight, seeing those monuments built for him and his fellow comrades.
There's a lot of other guys out there just like me. Lots of them. They deserve as much as I get and more.
You got it. Got it.
Once a week, Annette Mars checks on her parents in Davenport. She also checks on their mail. But this time at the post office, the pile is a little larger.
Right in the house to your chair.
Since Jerry's open heart surgery in February, Annette has been his primary caregiver. That's why she needs to travel with him to Washington, D.C. Last Thursday, they asked for your donations. And today, boy, did they receive.
And she said, "My guts are strong and wouldn't cry." The next thing, you could fill this house with water. I just couldn't stand it.
Countless cutters, some from long lawns.
And this one?
Yes, McDowell. He delivered fuel to me.
Yep.
And, once in a while we tip a jug, but not too often.
One Ritzville woman gives in honor of her husband. He battled alongside Jerry on the same ship 66 years ago, but he never came home.
In the memory of my husband, Lawrence Coach, who was on the USS California at that time and was killed by a suicide bomber January 6th. I wish to send you this. You and your father have a wonderful time.
Along with warm wishes, the cash and checks kept adding up.
We have one for $50 and $5.
Annette asked for $1 from each of her friends, and those at work collected a bag full.
And that to me was better than a $100 check, just because that's what we said was $1 a piece.
Simply put, they're overwhelmed by the generosity of the community.
People that do these things must have a hell of a heart.
A small gift to this hometown hero, a hero who gave an even bigger gift to his country. At first, doctors didn't think Jerry Ives would be able to go. His health was just too poor. But today, he, along with 25 others, embarked on a whirlwind journey to see the sites built in their honor. 65 years ago, Seaman Jerry Ives battled overseas. He never set foot in Washington, D.C., and last night, he could hardly sleep.
Oh, it was 2 o'clock this morning, and I still couldn't get him to go down.
His wife, Verla, knows he's honored. Now, finally, decades later, he and his fellow comrades will see the solemn reminders of those long years at war.
They taught me a lot of stuff that saved my life, lots of it. Of course, we had to bounce back and save them, too.
I want to see the wall, see if there's some names on there that I can remember.
It was a family affair, brothers, sons and daughters, and grandkids seeing off their heroes. Organizer Tony LaManna thanks those who've given so much.
This isn't just a hobby. We do this because we love you and admire you so much for what you did.
Right now, the Honor Flight program has $10,000 to its name. It cost them $28,000, though, to take a group of 35 veterans to D.C. Fundraising phenoms like 11-year-old Justin Peterson hand over a little help.
A check for $500 on behalf of the Washington State chapter of the Sons of American Legion.
The vets line up, anxiously awaiting what's to come. The pilot personally wheels Jerry down the ramp, and his daughter Annette, his primary caregiver, stands by his side. A Post Falls VFW sent them an old photo to take to D.C.
I just wanted the picture to go with him and then mail it back.
It's these men and women who saw the world at war, and now it's their turn to see the sights built in their honor. As the pilot bids farewell, these vets begin a trip of a lifetime. 200 World War II veterans are still on the waiting list tonight. The program counts on your generosity, and if you'd like to help, just go to KREM.com. In the studio, Danielle Grant, KREM 2 News. Seaman First Class Jerry Ives was a simple man, happy and humble, with a smile a mile wide. It'd been some 65 years since he battled overseas, and finally, weeks ago, he saw the solemn memories of those long years at war.
One of the best things that ever did happen, though, is when he got to go back there to see the memorial on that honor flight. That was the greatest thing that ever happened to him.
Doctors gave Jerry the go-ahead, and your donations helped him and his daughter take this trip of a lifetime. The family says it was the hope of the honor flight that carried him through.
He went, he came back, and then he spent the rest of his time putting this family together.
Jerry went in for surgery 2 days after returning from D.C. The surgery didn't go well, and they knew his season of life was nearing its end.
It was his choice. So we had 9 days of all of our family.
He couldn't take the pain anymore. So he prepared us, and he went on his way.
Friends and family from near and far pay their respects to this man who touched so many lives. And even in his fires, Jerry's doing what he does best.
He was literally laying on his deathbed and he was laughing and joking.
He was an ordinary man living
An extraordinary life. He was an American hero with a heart full of gold.
He enjoyed life to the very fullest, and he's a good man to be around. He'll be missed.